Hello, my name is Joseph Carlson, and this is episode 266 of Gaming with Grief. And this episode is actually a movie review. But if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. If you're listening to this as a podcast, please tell friends, family, whoever about the pod. I'd really appreciate it. And that's basically the intro. Nothing really special, but let's get into the review of Tuesday. This is going to be a non-spoiler review. I really want to save a lot of the cool stuff for, the cool reveals for people to see the movie. But this is a small independent movie, so I'm just getting the word out about this movie right now. It came out on June 7th, 2024. It's an A24 film. It stars Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Lola Pettigrew, and it was directed by Dana Opuzak. I hope I'm saying that wrong. I'm probably messing her name up. But that is all the intro stuff. But with that, we will get into the episode. Hey, we're back. I don't know why I paused so long there. So again, this is going to be a spoiler-free review of Tuesday, a film literally about death. And I don't do a lot of film reviews on this channel, because you got to keep some stuff for yourself. But I heard about this movie, and I love Julia Louis-Dreyfus. And I read just a really quick snippet, like, what is this movie about? Basically, death comes to visit Tuesday, who again is played by Lola Pettigrew. Again, I'm hoping I'm saying that right. She is suffering from a terminal illness. She's 16 years old, 15 or 16. It's mentioned one time in the movie. I didn't take notes during the movie. That would have been very rude. But her mother is played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I don't know if her mother actually, if she has a name. I don't know if anybody says her name. Anyway, death literally comes to her in the form of a macaw, which I had to look it up because my wife and I, we were coming out of the movie. We're like, wow, that was pretty intense. Man, a parrot, huh? It wasn't a parrot. It's a macaw. The actor, it's actually voiced. The death is voiced by the actor. His name is Aries Kenye. I hope I'm saying that right. I just watched, there was like a 5-minute interview from Screen Rant with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Lola Pettigrew, and the director Dana Puzak. Again, I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. I'm a dumb American. Anyway, they said that, it wasn't a tennis ball. It wasn't like a stand-in. It was the actual actor doing the voice of death. And they tried to incorporate that into his performance, his voice and mannerisms into the performance, and they animated over him, which they said deeply affected the movie. So death is a bird. It can grow, it can shrink, kind of be where it needs to be. The voice actor has, I don't know if he's an actual, I'm sure he's an actor, but I don't know what else he's been in. But he has, in my opinion, a very strong career in voice acting coming up around the corner. I don't want to be reductive, though. He's probably an amazing, physical actor as well. But I just want to say, there's a lot of things in this movie that really hit for my wife and I. We were both tearing up at several points. Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character, again, non-spoilery, is pretty much avoiding her daughter because death is terrible. My wife and I talked about it this morning. How do you deal with someone in your life with a terminal illness? Do you lean in and talk about it and wait over their every need and just be with them all the time? Or do you leave them alone and let them be? Having my own experience with grief, people don't want to talk about their terminal illness all the time. If somebody has cancer, which is kind of where my experience comes from. If someone has cancer, they don't want to just talk about their cancer all the time. They want to talk about other things. It's the only time in my life I've seen my father ask about video games is when he was sick with cancer, because I'm sure everybody came to him and kept asking about the cancer, and he's like, I'm sick of this. Anyway, back to the movie. So what I think is so powerful about this movie is, I've always loved the supernatural. There's a lot of big supernatural elements in the movie. What does death do? How does it interact with people? Things like that. That is all amazing. But what I love about it is this idea of there does have to be a moment when you say, okay, we have to do this. We have to go through it, because as the macaw the bird says, as Death says in the movie, death comes for everybody. That's not a new idea. But again, I think the performances too are so good. And I got to say this, again, non-spoilers. I hate it. I don't hate it. It is difficult in movies when characters tell jokes because you know it's a performance, right? All jokes are a performance. My wife and I just saw Mark Maron last night at the Moore Theater. Amazing. He's been doing it a long time. He knows how to tell a joke, obviously. When people tell like a street joke in a movie, you're like, ugh, here we go. It's got to be on, you know. And this joke I'd heard before. Tuesday tells a joke in the beginning of the movie. And I just laughed. I laughed and cried at the same time. I was like, there we go. To me, that's always a good test of what's going on in your movie, you know, if you're able to do those things. Julie Louis-Dreyfus is, again, avoiding. There's a lot of, like, supernatural stuff in this movie. I don't want to give away. But just at the end of the movie, the journey, it didn't ever feel like, no, you know, even with the supernatural element, and I just eat that stuff up. I love it. You still want there to be, you know, a kind of journey from beginning to end. You know, there's this great moment of despair towards the end, obviously, because it has its film about death. And I think all the characters say things that are, I don't know, it feels, I've always talked about this podcast about like articulation. And even though people are doing maybe fiction or, you know, or a work of fiction can feel like truth in a way, because I think it's getting to the core of something that's so important. And I think this film pulls that off. It gets to something that is common, again, that everybody will experience, but also powerful. And there isn't a lot of actors in it, which is great because I think this is the director's first directing debut. And I always have the philosophy of like, keep it simple, stupid, you know, don't overdo it. And it's great. It's great to do that because it's like, okay, we only have a few actors, but there is a lot of CG too. So she pulled that off as well. It's amazing. Again, shorter episode. I don't want to spoil it. It's an independent movie, so check your independent cinemas to see if it's playing. And, you know, go see Tuesday. Support it. Support your local theater. In fact, my local independent theater is actually having a pledge drive right now. I might go in there. They're trying to buy the building right out because it's, you know, everything comes up for lease, and I think they're tired of dealing with that. So they've actually raised a lot of money internally, and then they're going, obviously, to the patrons saying, if you want to donate, here's the remainder of what we weren't able to raise. So it's all nonprofit, whatever. So, yeah, go see Tuesday. Go check your independent cinemas. Support local cinema. And I think that's it this week. Again, short episode. But everybody have a good week, and I'll talk to you guys next week.